Hey, what's up guys? This is Dave with Gen 3D Tech. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Pwnage Precision Pad. It's a control mouse pad and they sent three out to me for evaluation. A red, mint, and black pad. There's also a pink pad, but I didn't get that one. I only asked for one and they gave me three, so I'll probably end up giving away one or two of these. But anyways, let's check it out. The first thing I'd like to mention is the packaging it comes shipped in. It comes shipped flat in this box right here. Unlike, most mouse pads which come rolled up in a box like that. It usually adds more to the shipping costs when they come in a box like this, but it's definitely a superior way to get a mouse pad sent to you because it's going to be flat right out of the box. So yeah, that's a nice touch. And I think we're starting to see that more and more mouse pads coming shipped flat. And in all my testing, as far as I can tell, all three of the colors perform pretty much the same. So I didn't notice any difference between them. Since the red one's my favorite of the three colors, I thought I'd show this one off for the review. You can see it's got a pretty standard rubber base that most pads have. It doesn't move at all on here or on the desk. Not at all. Another nice thing about this pad is, as you can see, there's no branding anywhere on the top. All there is this little label right here, which I'd like to see more of that. If you're going to have a solid color, I'd rather not have any kind of label. I certainly appreciate, though, nice designs, and quite a few of the new mouse pads that I've acquired have designs on them. And I think that's kind of the way things are going in 2022. We're going to have a lot of mouse pads with designs. So this pad, of course, as you can see, has stitch edging on it. And from what I can tell, the stitching's pretty decent. I didn't have any fraying on any of the copies that I have. The surface is fairly soft, but does have a tiny bit of texture to it. I went through all my different mouse pads to try and find one that's exactly like this, and honestly, I can't find one that's exactly like this surface. I'm not saying that there's not other mouse pads out there that have this same surface. I'm just saying out of the 30 plus mouse pads I have in my collection, I don't have one that's exactly like this. But I will bring out a couple pads that are somewhat close just to give you an idea. And one of the other viewers, he wanted me to compare this pad to the Pulsar Paracontrol pad, the red one that I have. As you can see, they are two different shades. This is definitely more of a bright red, and this right here is more of a wine red. I don't have a wine red artisan pad. I do have one on pre-order though, but from the pictures it does kind of look similar to that. So if you're looking for a pad that has a similar color scheme to the artisan wine red, then maybe this pad might be a cheap alternative for you. This pad right here is also a control pad, and I do like both pads. The stitching on the Paracontrol is not as intrusive as this pad over here, as the Pwnage pad. It definitely sticks out more. You can feel it when you get towards the edge. Some people like that just so they know where the edges are, but other people don't like it when you hit the edges and feel something. So, it's kind of a personal preference. I really go towards the edges, so it's not a big deal to me. And as far as how my arm felt on the edges, it was not a bother either way. This Pulsar pad is a bit softer and has a little bit more squish, I would say, but both of them are fairly squishy, which I like. That gives you a little extra stopping power. There's the two bases. They are fairly similar, and size-wise, you can see the Pulsar pad just a hair bigger. The actual size of the pad, though, is 460 by 400 millimeters with a 3 millimeter thickness. Surface-wise, it's a pretty fast pad, I would say, for a control pad. So Basically, it's a medium speed pad when you're comparing it to all other pads. It does have stopping power though, as you can see. Not as much as other control pads, but the one thing that's really nice about it is the when you're doing the little fine movements, the micro adjustments, it has quite a bit of control. It's really good for micro adjustments, which I personally use a lot. So I enjoyed using this pad quite a bit. And if you do need to make, quick flicks, it does a really good job of that. And these are just PTFE skates. This is the Pwnage Ambi, and it also glides really well on this. And then glass skates here. Feels like butter on this pad. This is actually a really good pad for glass skates, I think. You still get some control, and it's, I don't know, just a really good pad for glass skates. So I'm going to bring out a couple other pads that are similar. It's a little bit similar to the Padsmith pad, other than the Padsmith is definitely squishier and has a little bit more texture, I'd say, and a little bit more speed. But it's kind of similar. Then it's also very similar to this Aqua Control 2 pad. It's rougher. This pad's rougher. And just maybe just a hair faster. And this is the new Locust pad, which is also actually this is the Black Shakura. And it's also very similar to the Aqua Control Black Shakura that I have also. This has just slightly less texture though, I'd say, but still more than the Pwnage pad. And I'll have a review on this really soon. This is as you can see, this is just a gorgeous pad. I think it sold out very quickly, so also another really good pad. But again, I'll be doing a full review of this very soon. So as far as humidity goes on this pad, I haven't really noticed anything as far as how it handles sweat. As I always mention, I don't sweat a whole lot, and my house is fairly climate controlled, so it's not usually very humid in here. From a suggestion of a viewer, instead of doing the spilling the bottle of water on the pad to simulate some sweat or humidity moisture, I got this spray bottle. But I'm also going to drop a little bit too, just so you can see how it soaks up. As you can see, this does have some water resistance, but it is definitely soaking in there. So this is definitely a cloth pad, and it is going to absorb sweat and humidity and moisture. On PTFE, I don't really notice any slowdown on the wet areas. Same way with the Pwnage mouse, and then glass skates. Normally with glass skates, you are gonna see a bit of slowdown over a wet area, but honestly, I don't notice too much difference. So the surface does hold up pretty good when it is wet, but like I said, it is going to absorb, and how it will react to things like sweat and your people's body chemistry. I don't know long term how that's going to handle. So perhaps if you're someone who sweats a lot, or if you live somewhere really humid, this may not be the number one choice for you. There are pads that are definitely a lot more moisture resistant than this one, but I think for most users it's going to be fine. And I think this pad's actually been around a little while, and I was kind of surprised when I looked. I didn't see any YouTube reviews on this pad, and the only reviews I could find were on Amazon, and there was just a couple. And there was like one or two bad reviews that were talking about durability of the pad. But honestly, I've been using these for a good 2 weeks and put it through their paces, and I haven't noticed any breakdown. But it's really hard to tell because as a reviewer, I don't get to just wear down a pad because I'm always going on to the next pad. So I don't know for sure, long term how this pad's going to hold up. But as far as I can tell, it feels just as good as any other pad that I own, and I don't have any reason to believe that it's going to break down. I'm always very skeptical of Amazon reviews when there's only a couple, whether it's positive or good. And honestly, if you look, there's just one or two very positive reviews and then one or two negative reviews. So it's not a very good sample size to make a good judgment of that, which is why I also wanted to reach out and do this review because I wanted to see for myself if this is a worthwhile pad. Now, as far as the price of this pad, the normal price is $29.99, but it's been on sale for quite a while now for $25 basically, which I think is a bit more reasonable for what you get. It's not the biggest pad. I'd say it's kind of a medium-sized pad nowadays. And I think it's, the biggest competition is, Lethal Gaming Gear pads, which are slightly bigger than this for like $30. And then the newer ones are even bigger, the 500 by 500, which are like $35. But another comparison that I didn't pull them out, but what I did notice is this surface feels like if I had to place it in with the other Lethal Gaming Gear pads, it feels like it's somewhere in between a Saturn and a Venus as far as control and speed. So if you're familiar with those pads, that'll kind of give you an idea of where this pad would lie if it was part of that lineup. I fully expected to not like this pad, but actually I do like it quite a bit. I just wish it was a little bit bigger, or at this size I wish it was maybe $20. I like the red and the mint color. There's definitely not a lot of pads this color, so that's kind of a cool color to have. Maybe they'll do some designs the next time they come out with a pad. And they really this is the only surface that they have. They just have this control pad. They don't have a speed pad or a mud pad or anything. So as I said before, because it comes shipped in a flat box, the shipping on this thing is going to be $10, so that brings that up to $35, which if you wanted to get one of the regular size Lethal Gaming Gear pads, they're $30, and I think the shipping's like $5 if you live in the States and you just do standard shipping. So you're looking around the same price for a slightly smaller pad. The main advantage is they've actually got colors, but maybe they're going to have colors on the Lethal Gaming Gear pads soon too. I don't know. So it is a little hard to recommend this pad over say like the Lethal Gaming Gear pads, just because of the size really and the price. If they lowered the price further down to $20, then this would be an easier recommendation, or if they increase the size of the pad for the same price. Now, like I said too, and if you own the Venus and the Saturn and you find that neither one is exactly just right for you, then this might be a good pad for you, because like I said, it's just right in between there in my opinion. All in all, I wasn't expecting to like this pad. I was just wanting to do the review because nobody else really has done one, and I thought it's worth covering since people buy mice from Pwnage. And if you're buying a mouse and you wanted to get a pad thrown on the order, this option's available, and there's really no information other than just a couple terrible Amazon reviews. So I thought I'd do this just to give some people a little bit more information to make that choice. But like I said, I was expecting that I wouldn't like this pad, but overall I do like this pad quite a bit. It works really well for my game. In game I performed very well, especially with the micro adjustments. It's consistent all the way around the pad, up and down. I don't feel any variations. Just overall, it's just a solid pad. It's definitely worth the money, even though there are other pads out there that give you a little bit more bang for the buck size wise. But sometimes that's a detriment. Maybe your desk, you don't have enough room for one of the Lethal Gaming Gear pads, and this will end up working a little better for you because it's slightly smaller. So I mean, they're just all different things to consider. This is definitely, in my opinion, a good pad with good performance. You got 4 different color options. Of course, it's not an artisan pad, but it's also not an artisan price. So again, if you're looking for that wine red color right here, this pad, $35 shipped if you're in the States, and I promise you won't be disappointed as far as how it performs. Again, I don't know how long it's going to hold up, but I feel like it's fairly well built and that it should last you a while. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you liked it, go ahead and please hit the like button. That always helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I definitely appreciate a sub. I'm working really hard to try and get as many reviews and as much content out there for you as possible. And anything I earn, I'm putting back into this channel so we can keep growing it and providing more content for you guys. I enjoy doing this quite a bit, and I always enjoy hearing feedback, trying to do things better over time. And yeah, I hope keep coming back and enjoying all the content that I got coming around the corner. Like I keep saying, there's tons of reviews around the corner. Still got a pile of mouse pads to review, and more on the way, more mice on the way. Yeah, busy. And that's about it. I guess I'll catch you on the next one later.